Om Sarvadharmastapakatvam Sarvadharmasvarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishna Te Namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, Pranam. And Sri Ramakrishna teaching us that never ever get into that dogmatic mindset of saying only my path is true, only my religion is true, all other paths, all other religions are false. If I am following a certain path towards reaching my ultimate goal, only that is true. All others are false. Never fall into that trap. That happens with the half knowledge. That happens with the little understanding. Have the complete understanding, have the complete realization, and then you will realize that the one which is formless also takes forms. And not only just one or two forms, innumerable forms. So the same entity, the same ultimate reality which is formless also takes forms and various aspects, various forms that ultimate reality takes. Don't have this minimal vision. Don't have this narrowest of the narrow vision that God is only this or God is only that. Who has understood God? Only the one who has had the ultimate realization. He knows what God is. And then Sri Ramakrishna gave us that the wonderful parable of blind men and the elephant. Various blind people, they were asked to touch this animal and then describe what that animal they understood like. And then the various blind men, they started touching the different portions. The person who had touched the legs, he is vehemently claiming, this elephant is nothing but pillar. It's like a pillar. I know for sure I have touched it. The blind person who had touched his ears of the elephant, he says, no, what is this fellow saying? The elephant is nothing but like a winnowing fan, huge fan. And the fan is just moving, it is shaking, it is giving me such a wonderful breeze. I know for sure elephant is nothing but winnowing fan-like thing. The person who had touched the tail, again, he has his own views. And he is so adamant on his views. Elephant is nothing but something like a rope. So goes on all the different people, blind people who had touched those different parts of the elephant. They start fighting like anything. What I have touched is the elephant. Now, the person who has seen the elephant, he knows in reality, he knows for sure, he knows with guarantee what elephant is. Yes, he's a pillar, he's a winnowing fan, he is the rope, and so on and so forth. So that is the difference between people with the dogmatic mindsets who have not realized the ultimate truth and people who have realized the ultimate truth. And then Sri Ramakrishna is now talking to the Vaishnava Goswami who had who was visiting Master on this particular meeting. So Sri Ramakrishna says, how can you say that the only truth about God is that he has form? Now, the Goswamis of the Vaishnava sect. Vaishnava sect people, they are the followers of Krishna. They are at loggerheads with Shaktas. The followers of Krishna don't believe in following Kali of the Shaktas. Followers of Kali don't believe in following Shiva, the Shaivites. Likewise, the fights go on and on. And all three of them, they don't accept following the Akhanda Satchidananda Brahman. So that is the infighting that is going on with such a poor and limited understanding that my faith is true. Sri Ramakrishna says further, it is undoubtedly true that God comes down to earth in a human form, as in the case of Krishna. Like he is talking to Vaishnava Goswami, so he gives the example of Krishna. God, undoubtedly, God comes down to earth taking form of, say, Krishna. And it is true as well that God reveals himself to his devotees in various forms. He comes down taking forms. Not just Krishna, even the various forms that the God comes down, they are also true. The Kali, the Rama, the Shiva, the Ganesha, all these forms, they are true. It is not that these other deities, the forms, God in the form of other deities is not true. Also true. And not only this, Sri Ramakrishna says, but it is also true that God is formless. He is the indivisible existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. While God sports himself or itself in various forms, God also is formless. He is that akhanda, abheda, akala, Satchidananda Brahman. That is also true. He is formless. With these forms, he has attributes. As akhanda Satchidananda Brahman, he is attributeless. With these forms, the Lord is sakar. He has taken the form. And with akhanda Satchidananda Brahman, with akala Satchidananda Brahman, abheda Satchidananda Brahman, God is nirakar, nirguna. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna says. Everything is true. This you will only realize when you get the ultimate realization. He is also described there both as attributeless and as endowed with attributes. He is nirguna as well as saguna. That is the limitlessness of the God. God can be anything for that matter. The ultimate reality, once realized, then one knows that God is with form, so many forms, and also God without form. God is with attributes and God is also without attributes. There is no point of fighting amongst each other that only my path is true. My path is true, your path is also true. His path is also true, her path is also true. Yes, all the paths, they lead towards the same ultimate goal. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, do you know what I mean? Satchidananda is like, what I mean to say, Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Now Sri Ramakrishna gives an example of how this akhanda Satchidananda, how this nirakara Satchidananda, how this nirguna Satchidananda appears before the devotees in all these different various forms with attributes, with forms. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, Satchidananda is like an infinite ocean, vast ocean, limitless. No beginning, you may see the beginning, but you can't see the end. That limitless ocean. Satchidananda is like an infinite ocean. Intense cold freezes the water into ice. Now, as one goes further in the ocean, the temperature drops down. And when there is extreme cold, then this water starts solidifying into ice. Intense cold freezes the water into ice, which floats on the ocean in blocks of various forms. Now it is not that this the ice blocks, they are of the same size, they are of the same shape, they are of the same form. There could be various forms. Some is huge, some is small. But that ice is an ice. Likewise, through the cooling influence of bhakti, through the cooling influence of intense, earnest and sincere devotion, Sri Ramakrishna says, one sees the forms of God in the ocean of this absolute. This ocean is absolute. This ocean is nirakar. But with the cooling influence of this devotion, the water takes form of the ice. The water gets frozen into that form of ice, and the devotee sees the chosen deity of his or her liking, of his or her appreciation. These forms are meant for the bhaktas, the lovers of God. Only the devotees, they will see these forms. They will see the form of Krishna, Rama, Durga, Kali, Ganesha, and all those deities that we worship. The bhaktas see these forms. But when the sun of knowledge comes up, when the sun of knowledge rises, the ice melts, and these forms turn back into water. The knowledge, ultimate knowledge, when one gets all these ice blocks that have been created because of the cooling, freezing influence of the bhakti of the devotee. With the rise of knowledge, with the rise of sun of knowledge, these ice blocks, they melt away. And they again become part and parcel of that vast infinite ocean. And then it becomes the same water as it was before. Water above and water below, everywhere, nothing but water. Now, once that ultimate realization has dawned, once a devotee reaches the stage of ultimate enlightenment, then even the deities, they disappear. And in the end, there is nothing but formless, attributeless Satchidananda Brahman. Therefore, a prayer in the Bhagavata says, now there is a, Bhagavata is a scripture followed by Vaishnavas again. It is, Bhagavata is a treatise on the Leela of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, there is a prayer in the Bhagavata which says, O Lord, thou hast form and thou art also formless. There is ultimate prayer. Having that ultimate realization, now the devotee who is studying the Bhagavata, who has studied the Bhagavata, gets that ultimate realization. And then that Bhagavata devotee, that Bhagavata bhakta, he starts worshipping, he starts praying, and this is the ultimate prayer in the Bhagavata. Sri Ramakrishna says, O God, you have form, you are also formless. That is the ultimate realization. Thou walkest before us, O Lord, in the shape of a man. And again, thou hast been described in the Vedas as beyond words and thoughts. So this is the ultimate realization that even the devotee of Lord Vishnu in the Bhagavata mentions that now I have realized, having got the ultimate illumination, having got the ultimate enlightenment, now I have realized you are with form as well as you are formless. And not only that, you walk amongst us. You walk before us, O Lord, like a incarnation. Incarnating yourself into that human form. You walk before us. You play your Leela before us in that human form. But again, you have been described in the Vedas that you are beyond word and thought. Nobody can describe you. Nobody can say who you are, what you look like. Nobody can describe about your ultimate reality. And Sri Ramakrishna has told us earlier also that having attained Brahmajnana, the devotee becomes speechless. Because what Brahman is cannot be described. You cannot limit the limitless Brahman into those few words. Oh, Brahman is having one head and a beautiful body, and he stands these many feet tall. No. Brahman cannot be described. That is what Sri Ramakrishna has told us. And if we even make an attempt to describe Brahman, it is impossible. The man becomes totally silent after the ultimate realization. And then Sri Ramakrishna has told that once this ultimate realization dawns, then we don't get into those limited and narrow dogmatic views, that narrow dogmatic mindset, and we never fight with anybody else. We don't get into quarrels with people following other paths, because now we know as many faiths, so many paths. Jato mat, toto pot. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.